Guys, welcome back to Crypto Info Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Thanks for joining us this morning. Please toss us a like and subscribe if you don't mind down below. Helps us a great deal with the algorithm. Guys, please remember I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing on this channel is ever financial advice. You could lose everything in crypto, your socks, your shorts, your pants, your glasses, everything in crypto. Please only consult your registered investment advisor before you make any financial decisions. Thank you very much. Guys, something big is happening right now, and it ain't about price and it ain't about hype. It is about infrastructure. Ripple is building, San Francisco-based tech company, is building a financial system. Prime brokerage, stablecoin rails, institutional custody, tokenization layers, ISO 20022 alignment. No more empty messaging. When plumbing is built, liquidity flows. This morning, we break down the full stack. We're going to break down all of it for you here today. Welcome to Crypto Info Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Stick with us here. Guys, welcome back to Crypto Info Blockchain Made Easy with the Tank. Crypto Midwest, welcome into the channel this morning. And Curry, welcome in this morning. Welcome, everybody. Please toss a like and subscribe. Thank you. There's a major misunderstanding. Most are focusing on price when it comes to cryptocurrency, of course. Institutions focus on infrastructure. The smart money focuses on infrastructure. Lemming Retail focuses on the other, on price right now. That's the dumb money, no offense, okay? Quietly and systematically, behind the scenes, beginning with Hidden Road, Ripple is developing something. Hidden Road is a prime brokerage firm, first of all. Services hedge funds. It clears institutional market positions, not the least of which it also connects to U.S. Treasury markets. Thank you, studio, for the coffee refill. It operates in FX or foreign exchange and global liquidity. So Ripple acquired Hidden Road recently, as you well know. This connects crypto to Wall Street rails, a huge development bridging TradFi with DeFi. So it is being integrated with Ripple Prime as we speak. They've been working on it. Over the past months, it means institutional clearing and access, essentially. Guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Crypto Info Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank, breaking down all things crypto, particularly XRP and the ISO 20022 coins. Cheers, Mr. Microphone. Now consider RLUSD as Ripple's regulated stablecoin. Now, stablecoins essentially are settlement rails. Financial settlement rails, okay? They move digital dollars globally. Ripple partnered, I can see better without the glasses, that's weird. Ripple partnered with Rail. Rail expands stablecoin rails. On-ramps, off-ramps, the like. Merchant channels, and so on and so forth. Fintech integrations, blah, 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 blah. RLUSD plus Rail, of course, equals settlement layer. Okay, so now custody does, of course, matter, and institutions require secure custody, or else you ain't gonna play ball with them. Okay, so Ripple acquired METACO purposefully. METACO is Swiss, essentially. METACO is Swiss institutional custody technology. That's all they are. They're a technology, METACO. So banks use METACO, this technology, for key management, okay? Hardware level security systems designed for enterprise-grade payments, of course. So Ripple Custody builds on METACO. Okay, now that we get that out of the way, then comes Palisade. Palisade strengthens wallet infrastructure, okay? Multi-layered controls. So authorized layers, audit compliance, blah, 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 blah. Without custody, okay, capital will not flow. So you got to have custody. Ripple saw this and knows this and knew this, acted upon it. Now tokenization, real-world assets are moving on chain, of course. We know treasuries, funds, everything basically in the world. Structured products, XRPL supports native token issuance. This is crucial for RWA, or real world asset tokenization on the ledger, the XRPL. Now, fast final settlement, of course, tokenization requires ISO messaging standards. This is, of course, crucial. ISO 20022, as you know, is the global finance language for messaging now. SWIFT migrates, Fedwire migrates, XRPL aligns. And here we go. This is the start of it. Switches getting ready to be flipped. This is institutional compatibility starting here. Finally, we've been waiting for this forever. Add liquidity corridors, of course. Add on-demand liquidity put out by Ripple. Cross-border rails and Ripple Prime. Add RLUSD, Ripple stablecoin gaining traction. I think now just moved up the charts. Add METACO custody. Add rail distribution. Add tokenization. It forms a loop. You getting this now? Prime feeds liquidity. Custody secures assets. Stablecoins, RLUSD moves value. XRPL settles final. This is how it works. Compliance monitors. This is architecture, guys. Architecture precedes flow. Cares about the price. Stop worrying about the price. Make the flip out on the channel this morning. Flow precedes scale. Scale precedes valuation. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying and seeing this? Ripple is building a financial operating system layer by layer behind the scenes. Okay? This is what's happening. Everybody's paying attention. What are we paying attention to? And it's all good and fine. Everybody pays attention to what they pay attention to. All right, nothing wrong here. Somebody wanted to maybe spread out of their comfort zone into just a tad different lane than they're used to, than they're accustomed to, and all of a sudden take a look at digital assets and see that it is what the internet was back in 1999, just before the Telecom Act was passed, sending internet stocks and tech stocks through the frickin' moon. Everybody's like, "Oh, that bubble." Well, yeah, that bubble. We had a bunch of 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and everybody else who played the game, establishing their financial future. I was going to say the 18-year-olds were stepping out of Lamborghinis and Ferraris because they were, and I was like, what's going on here? How are these kids making so much money? Is this even legal? Yeah, it's legal, and that's what's happening right now. Not illegal, legal. That's what's happening right now. Not a financial advisor. Some of these digital assets are at literally 2 cents, and they're what the internet was then. So once, of course, the Clarity Act is passed, I'll get to your comments in a sec, guys. Once the Clarity Act is passed coming up here, which will work in tandem with the Genius Act, which has already been passed, the Clarity Act's already through the House, and that essentially delineates the lines between CFTC and the SEC. SEC handling securities, CFTC handling what's a commodity, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so essentially, it finally puts crypto in a lane that's, I don't want to say protected, but at least governed properly with at least some nice soft guardrails. Anybody tracking? Yeah, I like to say tracking out there. All the folks in the world and business world like to say tracking, and they like to say, right? Right. Hope we're having fun on the channel. We're not making fun of everybody, guys. We're having a blast here this morning, right? Anyway, welcome to Crypto Info Blockchain Maize with host Frank the Crypto Tank. I hope everybody understands how finance works, and if you don't, you can learn on this channel, and you can see how all the, the majority of the humans have been whipped around for eons with finance. Whipped around like a wet Bitcoin, like this. A wet dish rag whipped around by finance because you don't understand it. And I'm here to help you, and I'm not a financial advisor, and I dug deep about 6-7 years ago, and I got into it. I got my own finance degree on my own without going to a college. I went to YouTube college. I went to Google college. I went to AI college. Rero, welcome to the channel. Marchster, Rero, welcome in. Sorry I didn't see you, buddy. How you doing this morning, Rero? Curry, how you doing this morning? We have the best community here, I think, on YouTube. Truly love it. Guys, if you're paying attention to what's happening in crypto, I hope you are. Let's get to some details here this morning. To further back what we're talking about this morning, the crypto market is coming in at $2.31 trillion for a total cryptocurrency market cap. Fear and greed index is showing that we're 12 into the fear. We're almost at a full fear. Excuse me, don't get hiccups on the channel early in the morning. It's not a good idea when you're live. Here, let's go back to 2021 and look at this situation here. We are down... I'm not even going to cover it. Bitcoin, I don't care what you're doing. Bitcoin is not the future of crypto. Just so you know, Bitcoin is a red herring. The large institutional players, sure, some regular folk bought Bitcoin way back when. But let me just clue everybody in. What happened is large whales purchased crypto, Bitcoin, way back in the day and own so much of it that they have made it be essentially that the entire crypto market, all of these other coins, which have nothing to do, or tokens, coins or tokens have nothing to do with Bitcoin at all, are inexorably linked as of now, not inexorably because they will be separated soon. There will be a decoupling, but as of now, we are dealing with Bitcoin whipping the entire crypto market around like a wet dish rag like this. Okay, why and how? Because these monstrous whales have purchased all this Bitcoin, and when they wish to go ahead and sell massive amounts of Bitcoin, they not only crash the price of Bitcoin, they also crash the price of the rest of the market and every other project everybody else is holding. This sooner or later is going to stop. Bitcoin is a piece of garbage. I'm here to tell you here first, I mean no ill, and I mean no negativity at all. I'm a kind, gentle soul, and I love you all. And I'm here to tell you the truth and be as kind as I can, because the truth is what sets us free, and the truth is what it is about. And deception is no good, no bueno. I don't like the deception. And here's what's happening, and I'm here to spill the beans for you. I've always been that guy. Nothing's going to change. I'm the guy who walks into church and goes, now, wait a minute. What do you got? I'm the guy who walks into class and goes, now, school and goes, now, wait a minute, guys. You're saying that they built the pyramids, all this, but no, wait a minute. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm that guy. Here you go. It doesn't make sense. The entire cryptocurrency market, people, is being whipped around like a wet dish rag by a wet Bitcoin. They are fooling you and tricking you, the whales that are owning this, and we can see it on chain. You can go to Chainalysis. You can go to tons of these. There are a number of sites. Glassnode, Chainalysis is a little bit different, but there are a number of sites you can go to track the happenings of the cryptocurrency wallets and see what's going on. Of course, understand that when somebody names a cryptocurrency wallet, they can name it whatever they want. Just because it's called Musk doesn't mean that's actually Musk's cryptocurrency wallet. Okay. But if you see somebody purchase like 500 million XRP at a pop, could be Musk. All right. Moving forward here, understand Bitcoin is controlling the market. That is about to change. In fact, we're seeing a decoupling happening right now, and that is about to proliferate. We're going to see the truth of it. Guys, don't forget about Caleb Brown. Know that I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply for informational and educational purposes only. Don't ever buy or sell anything because what I say or do, you have to consult that individual that comes and sits down there at your kitchen table on Sunday mornings and tells you all about your 401k. And then your doctor leaves at your bedside with the doctor bag. No. Yes, your financial advisor, your 401k. By the way, lovely, good job with the 401ks, guys. Be very cautious, please. I'm not a financial advisor. We're about to see something happen, in my opinion, akin to 2008. And more recently, we had, 2012, something like that. We had another one, but we're about to see the dippity dip in 401ks, and everybody in about a 1 to 2 week period is going to go, what the heck just happened to all my money that I've been keeping in my 401k that's been slowly, like a tortoise, trying to give me some yield for my money? Yeah, please wake up and understand finance, guys. And when you do, you will see it's not about 401ks. I'm not a financial advisor, never financial advice. Please see the truth. Let me show you the truth with one right now. Let me show you the truth. Here's the truth. Let's take XRP, for example. Let's jump back on XRP's all chart and come back here to a time, of course, in 2014, even just here, it doesn't matter, 2016. Oh boy, old man glasses on. 2016, where we were 0.005 cents for an XRP. Now look at XRP right now is at $1.38. Just not so long ago, she was at over $3. So she's going back to $3. Nothing has happened. The CEO's not drunk in the gutter somewhere. The project is proliferating, moving forward. They're fostering new contracts, new partnerships with banks. They have 1,700 NDAs. They've already signed over 400 banks. Has Ripple. They're valued at about $40 billion or something at this point. San Francisco-based tech company called Ripple, leveraging XRP on the XRP ledger. Please wake up, folks. We are going well past $3. Those of you who had the foresight, never financial advice, to be purchasing some XRP, because I know a lot of yous did. I already heard it in the comments section. Let's say somebody took $25K out of their 401k. Never financial advice. I'm not suggesting anybody ever do this. This is a calculator exercise. They went ahead and put $25K and they put it into that old XRP way back in the day. Oh boy, they got themselves 5 million XRP. You heard me. I said 5 million XRP. That's right. Now, XRP goes back to the $3. Well, of course, that person now has 15 mil, and they're going to have to go pay, 1.5 mil. They're going to have to go pay exchange fees and, their tax to federal and state tax for crypto, blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. Pay your money, but who cares? It's still a win in my eyes because somebody spent 25K and they came out with 1.25. Well, after paying everything, a little under $1 mil maybe. For a move of 25K, that's one move. Ripple ain't XRP's not stopping there. So everybody is aware. So let's do it again. Ripple's not stopping there. So that 5 million XRP, of course, and we're almost done. Don't worry. We're almost done with this little exercise. Let's go ahead and put it at simply $50. A $50 XRP is absolutely reasonable in the next couple of few years. Probably happen by this year. Very likely. I'm not a financial advisor. Never buy or sell anything is what I say or do. Crypto's super risky. You could lose everything in crypto. To me, that is $250 million. Yeah, I just said it. $250 million. Please wake up. Please see. Please see the truth of possibilities with crypto. And even if it's only a quarter of that, who cares? It's so much. Is it a little bit better than what your 401k's been doing? Never financial advice. Let's get over to asteroids. Please wake up. Getting over to asteroids, maybe that's my job, is to wake folks up. 400 and something thousand XRP trading across exchanges in the past minute across the planet. And here are the corridors, of course, trading to the Pacific Rim here, over here in Japan, Indonesia, over here in the Middle East, in the MENA region. Middle East, North Africa, blah, 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 blah. Trading over here in Mexico. What you doing with all that crypto in Mexico, huh? Never financial advisor. Only suggestions. I don't know. Opinions. Look at all this going to the United States corridors. Look at this stuff going to South America as well, and some going to Canada and also Australia. So what in the world is happening with cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies? Most folks are asleep. I'm here to help wake you up. $8.1 million came in capital inflows yesterday, Thursday, February 19th, into XRP spot ETFs. Now, everybody knows what that is, right? XRP spot ETFs means you can't just go ahead and say, oh, I'm going to go sit down, or anybody or somebody decided, let's just say for example's sake, they wanted to go buy XRP and sit down with their financial advisor and say, look, get me into this stuff. I want to play with just a little bit of my money, okay? Financial advisor says, good. We'll go ahead and get you the spot XRP ETF with the old Bitwise. Okay, good. Thank you. Well, when they do that, of course, Bitwise has to now hold that XRP for you. They can't paper it. They have to actually custody it for you. That ties up and locks up XRP and makes it more scarce, puts it in more demand. Anybody who knows anything about economics knows that sends the price up. Anyway, moving forward here, $3.2 million Bitwise, dropping in $3.2 million in capital inflow, 201,000 XRP shares locked up. Franklin Templeton bringing in 1.8 mil capital inflow yesterday for XRP. On and on and on. There's the total. You saw it, 8.1 million. A total of 790 million XRP locked up, almost $1 billion, and 1.1 billion AUM or assets under management. Total capital locked up for XRP spot ETFs. Wow. XRP is a crap coin. Really? All right, out of these wallets here, activated accounts, 7.6 million wallets. Know that half of them are holding 10 XRP or less because they were kind of just a starter wallet. I and others, I'm sure, have wallets like this. So understand that there's not as many wallets activated with tons of XRP in it as you might think. There's actually only half that amount. Where are you on the XRP rich list is another question, of course, because here is the account with the actual wallet address. Nothing wrong, fully transparent. Still not going to know who that individual is. Yeah, they're saying Ripple, but it may or may not be Ripple. We're going to assume that it is because you got $5 billion in escrow here. Duh. We're saying that probably is Ripple. We're saying this probably is Ripple. You know what I mean? Because who has 500 million XRP in a wallet? And then again in a wallet. And then right? So come on. That's BitThumb, very likely. These really are the number. This truly is the balance that is in the wallet. So hard for me to go ahead and then just say, oh, my wallet's going to be called Binance when I only have like 10 in there. Come on. You got to have these millions and millions in there, or billions. Look at BitThumb. What do you think? Let me ask you a question there, Batman. What do you think BitThumb, Binance, Uphold, Upbit, and these exchanges are doing, holding almost 2 billion XRP, almost 2 billion XRP? Please wake up and smell the coffee. Oh my God, XRP is a crap coin. Really? Let's get to it, guys. Here you go. I hope you're doing great this morning. I love you all. We'll get to comments in just a minute. Welcome into the channel if I haven't seen you yet. I'm not paying attention to that. Moving forward with the show. Hold on one sec here, folks.
This bill is signed by April, saying that clarity is better, and obviously then uncertainty. Tell us where you get that expectation.
Well, I mean, to some degree, you can never predict exactly how.
Let's pause this for the newcomers. This is the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, being interviewed right now the other day.
Senate and Congress is going to act, but
Unless you're in the prediction markets.
that's we should talk about that too.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Look, actually, the prediction markets around this point, around the Clarity Act, spiked because of some comments yesterday from Senator Moreno, who's been an advocate. I think it's now 90% it will pass by the end of April. I had said a couple weeks ago I thought end of April. At the time, people thought that was a little optimistic. There's a meeting today with a lot of leaders on both sides, the crypto and banking, in the White House. Actually, it's in 30 minutes or so. Ripple's chief legal officer is representing kind of Team Ripple there. But the White House is pushing hard on this, and I think that is a big reason why it will get done. It needs to get done for U.S. leadership. President Trump has been a clear leader and put the stake out there that we need the U.S. to be the crypto capital of the world. That's good for U.S. competitiveness, and that leadership from David Sachs and Patrick Witt in the White House have been really critical around this.
So what's the Ripple position in the meeting today?
Our position is very much don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. No bill that gets to Congress or gets through Congress, no bill is perfect. And I think that it got stalled because I think some in the industry are kind of pushing for something a little bit more perfect.
Very kind way of saying Brian Armstrong and the others, of course, and not that they shouldn't have. Come on, we need protection, but that was a very nice way of saying kibosh put on by Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase.
We need clarity. Ripple has been fortunate, and we got sued by the U.S. government and had a federal judge say XRP is not a security. We have clarity. Yeah. That's brilliant.
Remember, all the greats were sued by the U.S. government. Tesla, Google, Amazon, blah, 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 blah.
There's clarity in the Genius Act.
We did get, the stablecoin market got that clarity in the Genius Act. But the industry, the crypto and blockchain industry in the United States needs the same clarity that Ripple had to fight for in the courts. And I think for this
that
industry,
XRP is a security.
XRP is not a security.
Okay.
And that's what the courts ruled very clearly. And so we were very happy to have that. But the whole industry can't live in limbo. And so our argument is the Clarity Act, it needs to get done for the industry to thrive here in the United States.
So how do the rules differ when you're overseen by the CFTC, since the CFTC will oversee non-securities and the SEC will be
it makes it easier.
Securities?
Correct. So if something's a security, you have all kinds of obligations because if you own part of a company, it's a security, then you get dividends, you get right title and interest to governance rules, who you elect to the board of directors. That's not true in the crypto industry. And that's, I think, the false narrative that the Biden administration, the war that the Biden administration waged on crypto ultimately failed in the courts. And I think it failed the United States, failed the people of the United States. And I think trying to push it into a securities framework that was developed literally 80, almost 100 years ago never made sense. And I think the courts have clarified that. And if we get the Clarity Act passed, I think the whole industry can continue to thrive here.
Very good. Meanwhile, we're talking about a pretty good sell-off in prices. Give us the impact.
Who gives a crap about the price, Maria? Dumb money talk.
On Ripple. I mean, when you see crypto like Bitcoin.
Distractions.
What, 50% from the highs? Others down 40% from the highs. What's behind that, and how has it impacted Ripple?
Well, look, I think one of the things is what we're talking about right now, the lack of clarity. And I think as the Clarity Act got pushed, stalled in late January, that certainly didn't help. Look, Ripple had a tremendous year in 2025, and we're starting 2026 in a really strong place because there's more interest from CFOs and treasurers and even boards of directors saying, hey, how could we be using these technologies to make our systems more efficient? Stablecoins, to me, are the starting line. That's where it starts. And it gives experimentation of, okay, now I can move my money 24/7. I can move it more inexpensively. And so stablecoins are the starting point, but blockchain and crypto infrastructure can really change payments broadly. We're seeing that from the Treasurer's Office. We're seeing that around what we call prime brokerage services to provide liquidity. Ripple, partly through some acquisitions we did last year, is in a really strong spot as we start the year. To your point about the crypto markets, XRP actually has been the best performing major crypto this year. It's down about 20% ETH, for example, is down about 33%. And I think the more we demonstrate real practical utility using these technologies to solve real problems, the more you're going to see that play out in a positive way.
Let's go back to the acquisitions that Ripple has made, spending $3 billion on acquisitions since 2023. You've expanded into custody, prime brokerage, treasury management, stablecoin payments, also launching a new treasury platform. How do you continue to scale this up? You had the $1 billion treasury deal aimed at deepening institutional integration. Brad, give us a sense of where the company goes next with all of these businesses.
Off the bricks, kid.
So Ripple has been very focused on how do we build bridges between what we've called traditional finance and decentralized finance, or crypto. And those bridges are kind of the core of where our products sit. What we've found in buying a company in the treasury management services business, for example, G Treasury is the name of the company, now called Ripple Treasury, but they processed or orchestrated about $13 trillion of payments last year. Wow. 0 of those payments were crypto enabled. 0 of those payments were stablecoin enabled.
But they're getting ready to be coming up. Ding, ding. Is the bells going off yet?
And again, what we're seeing, they have over 1,000.
Couldn't have that large of a market cap, XRP, go to $100. What are you talking? Really? Interesting.
Customers, corporates that are using their technologies. What we're seeing is those treasurers, those CFOs, even the CEOs are pushing. They want to see how these technologies can make their systems unlock capital that's been trapped overseas, for example. So we're seeing that push. And now we have a great suite of solutions to introduce crypto to those. But today, again, there's 0 overlap between the crypto solutions and what G Treasury had.
It's coming.
So it's bringing those together.
So are you expecting more acquisitions then in terms of scaling it further?
We bought two big companies last year. And so the first half of this year is very much on let's pause. Integrate. That takes some work. I was actually in Chicago yesterday where the G Treasury is headquartered. And, look, I'm incredibly excited by the direction of travel we're seeing. Both of those acquisitions are way ahead of our forecast when we bought them. So we're very happy with that. But for the time being, we're going to slow down for a minute before we speed up.
But you've seen, corporate America spend, hundreds of billions of dollars try to adapt to this new world that we're seeing. On a practical level, tell us how things will change in financial services with regard to the digital asset story.
So what Ripple is focused is very much on the corporate customer. And so I'll answer that less from the consumer point of view and more from the corporate, right? So if you're a treasurer and managing, a balance sheet that has hundreds of millions of dollars in 10 different bank accounts around the world in different currencies, even Workday, for example, they hadn't hedged some of their foreign currencies and had a $700 million markdown because they hadn't hedged. And what really a big piece of Ripple's business now is that CFO dashboard. Give me visibility to all my liquidity, even if it's held in stablecoins, even if it's held in digital apps.
I love the conditioning. They keep showing the XRP ledger up there on the screen. Love it. Nice job, Fox.
Because as we've seen, more and more companies are saying, we want exposure to this asset class on our balance sheet. And so seeing that all in one place, being able to manage payments, being able to hedge risk, understanding liquidity, getting yield, because a lot of these, it's interesting, we see that portfolio and hundreds of billions of dollars are sitting dormant in, a 10 basis point yield account that could do much better.
What did you make of the Clarity Act getting stalled? Because partly you had the folks at Coinbase saying, look, we don't like the language.
He'll never say it, but I'll say it. It's legal. The senators need to load their bags before they send this crap to the moon and actually put pen to paper and sign the Clarity Act, sending all the digital assets to the moon. It's legal for them to purchase. They need to purchase first before they send it to the moon. Duh.
When it comes to the rewards, is that the only or main sticking point here? What else needs to be done to get that legislation back on track?
So it is definitely the main sticking point. And I think you saw the vast majority of the crypto industry kind of leaning in and saying, hey, well, this may not be perfect. This is a major step forward and we need that clarity. I do think the way I think about it as you back up, we need a level playing field for both sides. You've seen the CEO of Goldman Sachs, David Solomon, come out and kind of as an advocate for the Clarity Act because Goldman Sachs wants that same level playing field to compete with potentially crypto companies. I love that. That means the traditional financial industry is coming into the crypto industry more and more, and they want to make sure for this.
They certainly are. Ripple just connected with JP Morgan the other day.
compete. They have those clear rules of the road.
Very different than what you saw, for example, from JP Morgan a couple of years ago.
The tides have changed significantly, and yes, Jamie Dimon has
all
gone
get
from
ready to
saying
turn
very
on,
negative things to saying some pretty constructive things. I think as you zoom out and look over the next 10 years, that's going to continue.
Wow, a real changing backdrop here.
Yeah,
for
I would say
finance.
so,
Fred, great
Maria,
to have
huh?
you.
What do you think, Maria? Just a little bit of a change in the backdrop, huh? All right, anyway, let's get to this.
Fox Business Alert: China has a lock still
Zip it.
on one of the most strategic metals.
Zip it. Yeah, we can get to Richless. Here, let's get to this. Crucial.
You summed up your investment philosophy.
Founder of Vanguard Fund for all you regular kind of, money folk out there. You could only sit tight and hold right if you bought right way to heck back then, which means you better have researched properly, because that's the only real way you could have done, unless you're a time traveler.
Buy everything and hold it forever. Do you still subscribe to that in light of what the market has been doing, or would you unload some things now?
No, my theory is not subject to the ups and downs, the peregrinations of the stock, the unpredictable peregrinations of the stock market. It's painful to do, but I think the idea of owning the stock market is the best approach to equity investing, and perhaps I didn't make that thoroughly clear there. I have never felt that equities should be the only portion of an investor's long-term program. I myself am about 50% stocks, 50% bonds, for example. I was brought up when I came into this business in 1951 with the Wellington Fund, which was and is, and I hope always will be, a conservative balanced fund. But I think the idea of buying and holding forever and not trying to make adjustments requires that you've gotten it right in the first place. That you can only hold tight if you've bought right, if you will. And that is to say, have an asset allocation that has something to do with how many years you have to accumulate money, how much resources you have at stake, how much income you need, and how much courage you have to ride out the peregrinations of the market.
Damn right, son. And that's what we're talking about here, folks. Because it's a recipe, okay? When somebody never financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, never buy or sell because of what I say or do. I'm simply a talking head on YouTube. What do I know? You know what I mean? And the truth is, folks, is this. My truth is this. You can only hold tight if you bought right. You can only hold tight if you. It's not the only thing. You gotta do a couple things here. You gotta buy right. You gotta put enough money in. You got to put that money in and not touch it. In other words, you have to have enough money to pay your bills, blah, 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 without touching that money. You literally, I don't care if it goes down 30% at certain periods of time. You actually have to have enough staying power, enough wallet power, enough brain power and emotional power to then buy it more when they're down in DC and buy the dips, and also DCA, and just buy on the regular, no matter what the price is, just dollar cost average on it. Okay, it takes doing that too. It takes having the guts to have sleepless nights and have everybody tell you you're crazy during the whole period that the dumb money, all the retail, doesn't see it, because that's the way it always has to go. It's the way it was with Microsoft, Amazon, blah, 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 blah. All the other ones, all the regular folk, all the lemon, of course, me included, have to sit there as dumb money retail and go, you're crazy. I can't believe you're buying all that stuff. Well, guess what? Get it at a major discount. When you see what the world sees, what we see now, when this thing integrates and interlaces with legacy systems and the rest of this planet's majorly or predominantly used systems, including IOTA, Algo, Quant, ADA, blah, 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 XLM, XDC. When the folks wake up to the truth of crypto, you just may see when these prices are ridiculously higher than they are right now. I'm not a financial advisor, never financial advice. Art Caffeine, welcome in. Dino, welcome into the channel. Rero, welcome in. XRP going to $1,000, says Dino. I think that's very realistic. We could be a few years out for that, but I think we're on. Good morning, good morning. Hey, Mr. Art Caffeine, you are now a mod. I finally figured out how to go into the YouTube settings and make you a mod. So you are now a moderator, my good sir. So please go check out and see if that works for you. Guys, I hope you have a great day today. Thanks for joining us on Crypto Info Blockchain Made Easy with the host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Please remember, I am not a registered investment advisor. I am not a financial advisor. None of this is for financial advice, simply for informational, educational purposes only, and sometimes maybe just a little bit of entertainment. It depends on where your perspective is. Have an awesome day. Keep a smile on that face. Have a happy weekend. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing something fun this weekend. I've got to get to my other work. Have a great day today. Enjoy it. Take care, guys.